It is Wednesday, March 26, 2025. This is the day before the start of the regular season here on Baseball Today. That is my man, Trevor Plouffe. I am Chris Rose, producer Dan, intern Sawyer along for the ride as well. Even though two teams, the Cubs and Dodgers, have played two games, I can say it's still opening day tomorrow, right?
I think so. I think
Yeah.
it's the traditional opening day. That was more of like an exhibition opening day. And sorry for the Cubs, 0-2.
Yeah. It was
I got high
interesting.
hopes
So
for them.
I went down to Angels Stadium yesterday. I talked to Mike Trout. We'll have a little bit more on all that later, but it was Angels Dodgers, and so I was talking to the Dodgers about their trip to Japan, and they all loved it. A lot of them said the Dodgers said it's so weird when you play two regular season games, you come back, you play three exhibition games, and then you go again. He said the start stop is a little strange, but they all love the trip. I mean, that Japan trip just sounded out of gourd. It was great. All right, let's start the show with this before we get to our playoff and World Series predictions coming your way momentarily. The reason I'm wearing a Seattle Mariners cap, the big dumper gets a big load of cash.
Oh my God.
6 years, $106 million for Cal Raleigh, making him the third highest paid backstop in the sport behind only Will Smith and JT Realmuto. Plouffe, in your opinion, does this salvage what's been criticized publicly as a very lackluster offseason for Seattle?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. I'm very happy for Cal. I think it's a smart move for the Mariners to lock up a guy who's won the Platinum Glove, can hit you homers, and for a catcher, obviously those numbers are outstanding offensively. So, I always reference a catcher that can do what he does is like a cheat code. It's like a good tight end in fantasy football. But as far as salvaging their offseason, no, they had an opportunity to go out or at least attempt to go out and get to improve their offense more, and they really didn't do that. So we're going to get into predictions later. I still like the Mariners. I still think this is a very good baseball club, but I don't think this signing changes their offseason almost at all. Obviously, he is already on the team, but I'm happy for the move, man. It is what did you say, a big load of cash?
Yeah, the big dumper gets a big load of cash, which is true.
Too early in the morning for that.
But it's true. It's factually accurate. So no problem with the extension. I think it's well earned. Back-to-back 30 home run seasons for a guy who's played the most games at catcher in baseball over the last 3 years and hasn't just played them. He's played them at an elite level.
Yeah.
You talked about defensively. I think he was second in pitch framing, which who knows with the ABS system coming into play somewhere down the line. I tend to think that maybe some of those framers actually, because they know the strike zone so well, where they're pulling the ball, that could come in handy when they have to challenge it, depending on what the system
that's been said in spring training. I think that a lot of people thought initially, wow, like these pitch framers are going to lose their ability, like or not their ability, but what they're good at. And I think it's actually the opposite.
Yeah. So I'm happy for him. I'm really happy because it means that he doesn't have to go test a market that'll look at his numbers and try and figure out what he is. He is a different player on the road. He should ask to play all 162 on the road. The Mariners pitchers should ask to stay at home, and Cal Raleigh should be asked to go play only on the road, where he's got an 809 lifetime OPS. Do you have any? Oh, you're looking at his numbers right now, aren't you?
What's that?
You're looking at his numbers right now.
I have his numbers up.
668 OPS at home. 668.
That's might as well be 800. Park factor adjusted. I don't know. Like, yeah, it's difficult. They got to figure that out.
They do, man.
How are you ever gonna like? It's almost like San Francisco actually has done it somehow. That's not a great hitter's park there, but they've still been able to bring guys in. They got Willie Adames over there. Whether that's just break out the kashish a little bit or whatever, but it's very hard to get people, offensive players, to like get excited about going to Seattle, dude.
Well, let's call it what it is. You have to start overpaying, which is why, this doesn't erase what happened in the offseason. It's nice. It means that kids can go out and go buy a Cal Raleigh jersey next to their J-Rod jersey. Cool. Great. We've locked up two players, and if we don't improve it, then we're going to end up wasting a great pitching staff, what we think is a great pitching staff. So, I mean, let's go get some people. I mean, it's just, we talked about the trades the other day, earlier this week, about there's been a few that have worked out, right? Luke Raley, the Victor Robles one, which nobody really paid attention to that, but he's been good for them. And Randy Rosarena, you're willing to take a chance on that because of what he can do. But man, oh man, like
Do you know who
let's
I think is
go.
gonna be available this year?
Huh.
Tristan Casas. I do. I talked about it yesterday on a Twin show that I did. I was like, they said, "What's your dream trade candidate this year?" I said Tristan Casas. Twins need a first baseman. Mariners just need offense. They'll
Right?
find, he'll play first base, figure it out. But I think he will be available. They have a bunch of guys ready to go at that level. Who the Twins and the Mariners have starting pitching to give up.
Yes.
So I'm curious. Maybe that happens.
I think that's a great call for them. That would help them. But if I were a Mariners fan today, I'd be excited just because I get to buy another jersey and feel good about it. But that's
Okay.
it. And feel great if I were a big dumper.
Yeah, dude. Think about this real quick. You walk around. You're a big leaguer. Your nickname's Big Dumper. Love that.
Yeah.
Your catcher's glove has the platinum Rawlings sign on it. Not even the gold. Gold is for Platty, and I'm rich. No one could tell him anything.
That's
It's a good day to be Cal Raleigh.
Well, come on now. You still have rules. People can, yeah.
Let me tell you something.
Huh.
Cal Raleigh does not have many rules.
Yeah, he's fine. He's a good guy. Don't paint him in a picture of.
I didn't say
I don't
he's
like
a
when
bad
people
guy. I said he
say
just doesn't have a lot of rules. He can kind of make his own rules.
Off topic, that's part of the problem where we are these days, is that because people make so much money that we can't.
Oh my God.
No, there's right and wrong.
I'm not saying there's not right and wrong. What I'm saying is not many people can tell Cal Raleigh anything.
Bullshit. Everybody's got a boss still.
Who's his boss?
Probably the owner of the Mariners.
That money's guaranteed, Chris. What's he going to do?
So what?
So what? You can't take it away.
Okay.
You're not going to play Cal Raleigh?
Yeah, but it's a little bit more than that. What are we doing here? We really going to have
I think you took this at a whole. I was just having fun with it, and then you start talking about rules and society.
All right, let's move on
and
to another AL West team. Texas Rangers opening a roster. Some interesting faces that'll be there, and some that aren't. Team announced on Tuesday, former Vanderbilt teammates Jack Leiter and Kumar Rocker are going to fill out the last two rotation spots. In the meantime, Evan Carter, one of their postseason heroes from their 2023 World Series team, not making the opening day roster. Team says he needs a little bit more work in the minors. You more excited for the Vandy boys or bummed out about Carter?
I'm excited for the Vandy boys. It's not an uncommon story, the Evan Carter story, where guys come up and have initial success, then struggle, have to find their way again, make adjustments, all that. So I'm not writing off Evan Carter whatsoever, and neither should you. But I think it's really cool. College teammates. Leiter has had. He took his licks last year, man. Like he got hit around and came into spring training. He's throwing the crap out of the ball. He looks really good. Kumar Rocker. We know about like his draft story and all those things, but they find themselves now, different routes to get there, but they find themselves in a rotation of one of the better teams in baseball. Like they're going to be leaned upon heavily. We got there's some injuries that led to this. John Gray got hit with the line drive, and I think there is some things to think about with like the health of that rotation. I think they're going to be relied on a lot this year. And if they can step up and kind of be who everyone thinks they can be, then they're going to be a big part of this Rangers run, which I believe will happen this year. So I'm excited. I'm excited for them, man. I like, it's just the ebbs and flows. Like I said, Evan Carter is going to be okay. Jack Leiter got lit up last year, but made some adjustments. Now he's back. That's what it takes to, be an established big leaguer. So I'm excited for those two guys.
Yeah, I am too, in part because those jobs aren't set in stone for those two. John Gray's going to come back at some point.
Make it difficult, right? That's what you hope for them.
Right. And Bradford's got a little bit of a barky elbow, I believe is what it is. So we don't know exactly what his prognosis is. And earlier this week, did you see who the Rangers signed?
Kevin Pillar.
Patrick Corbin.
Yeah, Patrick Corbin for like $1.5 million.
Yeah. Now, Corbin, we know the end of his reign in Washington was like a disaster, but he did pitch every 5 days.
He did.
So he is a healthy body from that standpoint. He's just there. He's behind the break glass in case of emergency sort of setting. So these guys, although it's a great day for them, and wonderful for the organization. I think every Rangers fan is like, okay, just get through. I mean, Jack last year pitched in 9 games, 6 starts, and his ERA was over 8.8. Kumar pitched, I think, 3 starts and didn't even get to 12 innings, so we don't know what he is at this level. That part's exciting when you pair him with the rest of that rotation. All of a sudden, and big things are expected. Some people are picking this team to go back to the World Series for the second time in 3 years. I don't know if I feel that way. You'll see in a few minutes, but it's always fun to watch young guys.
There's a guy that works at our company. I just did an episode, and maybe he did.
You just did one with Dalton Feely?
So Leiter, his fastball got absolutely torched last year. And I remember watching it. It was just flat and in the zone too much. He was sitting average 96.5. I think he's throwing like upwards of 100 right now in spring training. So, I mean, how you just add that? It's crazy. But yeah, I'm rooting for these guys. I am.
I've known Jack since he's our oldest son's age. He's Josh's age. And I've known him since he was 11, probably, something like that. I mean, I worked with Al for a decade, and you'd always hear about little Jack Leiter, little kid back then. And Al was like, "Yeah, he's throwing 90 at 14 or whatever." I was like, "That little guy is?" Like, "Yeah." And he said, "Chris, he's driven. He wants to win Cy Youngs. He wants to win World Series." I was like, "Awesome. Let's go get it." I'm rooting for him. He's a nice kid. I saw him in spring training. It was good to see him again. I think he remembered me. Evan Carter, hang with him, brother. He only played 45 games last year. I mean, we kind of I think I picked him as my AL Rookie of the Year last season. That didn't work. That goes into the Alek Manoah bin.
Yeah, that was a tough one for you. Yeah, again, it's just you got to make adjustments. You have to find your confidence again, and that could just be one cage session. Like it happens. It can be drawn out throughout a season, or it could happen that quickly. It's just you got to find your lane, man. You got to find that confidence again.
I hope it does, because I really thought he was awesome at the end of 2023, and then he was on base successfully all 17 postseason games when they ended up winning that ring. And then last year he had, I think it was a bad back that cost him 3/4 of the season, and it would be so sad if like the one moment was a 2-month run in 2023 for this kid. I pray that that's not it.
I don't think that's going to be it, Coach.
I hope not. Chris. I hope not. Okay, should we get to it? Start picking some division winners and wild card teams.
This is difficult, by the way.
Listen, I did this like I used to do my NCAA bracket when I used to fill that thing out, or right after I have my fantasy football draft. I don't know if everybody else is like this. I make my picks and I go, God, I hate them.
See, like I feel like the opposite with fantasy football. I'm always like, oh, this squad is legit.
Really?
And then it usually never is.
Oh.
But I did this exercise already, and it is very difficult.
Okay. All right, so let's start in the American League. We'll go through the 3 division winners from east to west. What you got, brother?
I am going to go the Red Sox in the AL East. I've been talking about them for quite some time. I believe in that roster, and I also think that they are primed to make some trades or go do something at the deadline. In the AL Central, I'm going my Twins. That's probably the hardest division to pick, I think, right now, because there are 4 teams that are kind of all jumbled up. But I do think the Twins roster is the most complete. For them, it's about health. And then the AL West, I'm going the Mariners. Julio, if you can be a warm body in April and May, we like that. Randy Arozarena, go be the best ever again. Like if we just need the offense to step up a little bit. I'm going the Mariners in the West. We know about the pitching, all those good things. So those are my 3 division winners.
Is it amazing that we don't have one that's the same?
Love that.
That's incredible.
Well, I think the AL is like that. I don't think there are like these crazy standout teams in the AL.
Okay, so I do have New York. And I struggled with this because I really thought that Boston was – I think it's coming down to like the last 2 weeks. And I hope that it does for excitement's sake. I just like New York a little bit more. And I can't quite – I think there's a lot of question marks in that lineup. A lot. I think their bullpen's going to be phenomenal. It wouldn't surprise me if it's the best in the American League. I really, really think that it's good. And I think that Aaron Boone does a pretty good job with it, too. I know Yankee fans will be like, Rose, you don't watch enough Yankees. Listen, let him have this good a bullpen. We'll see how it goes. And their rotation at some point will be fine once Clark Schmidt gets back. I don't think they can count on Heel. Certainly not the first day. He just got put on the 60-day. So he'll be like a trade acquisition, if we can look that way. And, oh, by the way, the Yankees have some young players that people covet. So if Stanton doesn't come back this year and they need to add something to their lineup, there's some young guys that can be had. Central, Tigers. Second straight year I'm doing this. I picked them last year. I looked like a fool the first 3 months of the season. Then they came on. They didn't come close to winning the division, but they made the playoffs and had a great run. That's hard because I don't like any team's lineup outside of Minnesota in the Central. But I think there's just something weird about your team. That's why I'm not going to pick them. That's not baseball.
That's fine, Chris.
acumen.
I understand that.
think
Again,
there's
on
something
paper,
weird.
I'm looking at these rosters. All we can do right now is on paper, and I
Yeah.
think they had the most complete roster. But I'm not running to the casino to bet that.
No. And I got the Astros out west. I don't think enough people talked about them. I think that yeah, it's going to be interesting without Bregman and Tucker. But I think they're going to win a lot of games, man.
Yeah, they got a squad out there still. They do.
What's your 3 wild cards?
I'm going one from each division, which is interesting. I'm gonna leave some good teams out there, and it's not because I hate your team. Okay, I'm going the Rays.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're gonna surprise a lot of people this year.
That's, by the way, that's one team we just have not talked about at all.
No, it's gonna be really interesting to see them play at the Yankees spring training, and I don't know how all that's gonna work out. It might cause a little bit of weirdness.
So I will say this. They have front-loaded their schedule. They had a bunch of teams flip so that they could come to Tampa earlier because the rain patterns in the summer are horrific.
If you ever played in the Florida State League, it rains every single day from like 4 to 6:30. So
And the only reason I bring that up is it means that, like, in July and August, I think they're on the road, basically.
which is fine because it's ungodly humid
Yeah,
in
that's true.
Florida at that time. So that's actually probably a good thing. So I'm going Tampa.
Mhm.
They're going to make it. I have the Rangers making it out west, and then I have the Royals making it out of the Central. So
Okay.
I'm leaving out the Tigers. I'm leaving out the Guardians. I'm leaving out the Yankees.
Oh, you left out the Yankees
I'm leaving out the Astros
and the
and the Orioles.
Wait a second. That's 5 of the 6 playoff teams from last year. I'm not miscounting, am I? You said
Tigers, Guardians, Yankees, Astros,
Orioles. You got to be kidding me.
What are your picks? Don't look at me like that.
Well, we have 2 of the 3 that are the same. We got Rangers and Royals, and I have the Red Sox as the other wild card.
Okay. So you're leaving out a bunch of teams too. Don't get on me.
Well, I'm leaving out Cleveland. I'm leaving out Baltimore. I think those are the only 2 teams that made the playoffs that I don't have going back.
So Mariners out for you, huh?
Yeah, Mariners out.
Okay. I don't know why. There's just something right here. It's in the back of my head.
Mm-hmm.
That's just
well, you've actually convinced me otherwise about the Mariners. You're like, well, their pitching staff are really not that good. Go look at their home road splits. And all of a sudden, yeah, I did look at that article, and I was like, shit, you're onto something here. And by the way, with the Cleveland stuff, I don't want to hear about it. I rarely pick Cleveland teams to do well. I rarely do. And Michelle said, as I was doing this stuff last night, Michelle was like, why don't you for once pick Cleveland to make it? He goes, put it out there in the universe. I was like, don't you have questions with the Queen to go work on or something?
You did not say that to
No,
her.
I'm kidding.
You never use that tone.
I would never. She did start saying, you will address me as the Queen around here.
I like that.
It was cute. Yeah, this is not easy. Let's get to the National League, where I thought it was a little easier, but maybe not much. East, Central, West. Who do you have?
I am going to go with the Atlanta Braves to be healthy and win the NL East. I am going to go with the Chicago Cubs in the Central. They're very exciting to me, and I do want them to get rewarded for the offseason play that they made. I think their outfield is going to be like my favorite thing to watch in all of baseball. Hap, PCA, and Tucker is going to be awesome. And then out west, I mean, it's the Dodgers.
3 for 3, Trevor Plouffe.
Nice.
Yeah, I agree on the Cubs. I think, and I also thought that the Justin Turner addition was huge for them.
Yeah, their bench looks great.
But then again, I also thought the Justin Turner addition last year in Toronto was going to be monumental as well.
Toronto's just a different thing.
He finished the year in Seattle. I think he stays the entire time on the north side. I also like their pitching staff, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I do. I like their pitching staff. And I think adding Ryan Presley was a great move that not a lot of people talk
about. Dude, they revamped that bullpen big time.
Mm-hmm.
They brought in, 5 guys? Eli Morgan coming over, your guy?
So this is going to be the interesting part, the wild card teams, based on who we leave out, because I'm leaving out some monsters. Go ahead.
Me too. Again, I think I'm going one from each division. I'm going the Phillies are going to make the playoffs. I think that's what do you don't have the Phillies?
No, I do have the Phillies. What you said is one from each division. That means the Mets don't make it.
Yeah, I don't have the Mets in the playoffs.
All right, so finish up.
I'm going Phillies. I'm going Brew Crew. They're like my prove me wrong team. Usually I have them and the Astros in that category. For some reason this year I don't have the Astros, which I'll probably come back to bite me. But I have the Brew Crew in the Central, and then I have the Diamondbacks out west, which means I'm leaving out the Padres, I'm leaving out the Mets, I'm leaving out the Giants, I'm leaving out some squads.
I can understand why you leave out the Padres. We've talked a little bit about that. They've just got a real thin needle to thread this year because of the lack of depth. The Giants, I think we discussed them on yesterday's show that we feel like
they have plenty of depth.
Yeah, they could be the third best team in the National League West and still not make the playoffs. I am shocked you are leaving the Mets out.
Rotation? Somebody's got to go home, Chris.
Bullpen? What is it?
I mean, look, it's already the starting pitching stuff has already happened. And again, like we said the same thing last year. I think that's the biggest thing for me is talk about threading the needle. Mm-hmm. Like they're going to have to really thread the needle with that rotation. But maybe, again, they did it last year.
Yeah,
somebody's got to go home. I just don't have the Mets above those teams.
So I've got both the Mets and the Phillies in.
Okay.
I think that division between those three is going to be phenomenal. And
so who are you leaving out then? Brewers?
Yeah. I've got the Diamondbacks as the last team. I'm leaving out the Padres and the Brewers. Those were the two toughest cuts I had to make. And then the Giants were third. Oh, you know who else I toyed with? The Reds.
The Reds, I know. Me too.
I couldn't find a second team I loved in that division enough because I actually think that, I mean, the Cardinals are going to be bad. I don't think they'll be like 65 win bad, but they're going to be bad. But the Pirates, and the Pirates just got some decent news on Jared Jones. It's he's going to not pick up a ball for 6 weeks, and then they'll reevaluate. They feel okay about that. Having to face that pitching staff will not be fun. It just won't be. So it's not like the Pirates are a 70-win team. They could be like a high 70s win team.
79 is what I have them at.
Okay. That's a good year for them. Good year for them. So that's what we got. We've got, I don't know. God, the more I look at it, I hate it. I still, by the way, we're like 2 minutes away from making a World Series prediction. I still don't have one written down here.
Oh, I have mine, but again, yeah, I don't feel great about these picks. I think there is a lot of parity throughout the league. I think the Dodgers I think it goes like this. It goes like Dodgers here, and then I think it's Braves, Phillies, Diamondbacks.
Okay.
And I don't have any American League teams above those teams.
All right, hold tight for our World Series prediction, which you will hold us to. But I want to get to this. Beautiful story out of Houston Astros camp where their number one prospect, Cam Smith, is making the big leagues. He's probably going to be their starting right fielder. He was the prize that came over in the Kyle Tucker deal from Chicago. So the guy played 32 minor league games. Now he's a big leaguer. Joe Espada made the announcement in front of everybody, brought his family out. That's his mom that's hugging him right now. It's his stepdad's there, his girlfriend's there. I think maybe grandma was there too, perhaps. really emotional moment. And here's Cam Smith afterward.
Can you just take us through the idea that she would be the one, after all she did for you, to tell you that you made the major leagues?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
You know, at one point it was just me and her in the house. She struggled to take me to baseball games and practice, and I'm just happy to do it for her.
Come on, man.
Pretty good.
Wow. That's a good one. That's a good one.
That's awesome.
Good for that kid. Because, when they made the trade, when they're trading one of the top 10, 15 ball players in baseball, right? And so you're like, okay, well, you get a nice depth rotation piece. We're get a third baseman that we think can mash homers into the Crawford boxes. And then we get a guy who, well, we'll see him in a couple years. Here he is after 32 minor league games.
That's
pretty cool.
Crazy how fast he went. He had a great spring training as well. Yeah. He looks the part, man. Like I watched a few of his at bats. Like it's real deal.
Yeah. So that's the third fewest position games by a position player in the minor leagues in baseball's draft era. I know they came out a little clunky, but follow me here. John Olerud only played 6 games before breaking camp with the Blue Jays in 1990. John Olerud played 6 games. Pete Incaviglia, who was actually a first-round pick of Montreal in 1985. Was it 85 or 86? Then he got traded to Texas. He didn't play any minor league games.
Mike Leake, none.
Yeah, pitchers are a little different, right? Pitchers are a little different.
Paul Molitor had like 100 games or something like that. Maybe it was 40. I don't know what it was. It was very small too. And I always was like, I hate you so much.
I also seem to remember that Bob Horner, who was a very, very good power hitting corner guy in Atlanta, played almost nothing. I thought he was like the first pick of the 70, maybe the 78 draft. I don't know. Sawyer, Dan, one of you guys want to look that up? I'm almost positive he played virtually no minor league ball.
Paul Molitor played 67 games. He had 242 at bats in the minor leagues.
No, he all right. But for people that did not, you might only remember Paul Molitor as the manager of Trevor Plouffe's Minnesota Twins. I saw his entire career. That dude could hit the baseball anywhere on the field, anywhere. And he could, when he was younger, my God, what were some of his stolen base totals, dude?
It's got 504 total. It was 30, 33, 34, 41, 41, 45, 41. Like he was a guy. Yeah.
He was a great baseman.
He's an athlete.
Oh,
he had fun. He did.
Oh, yeah. All right. Should we do this? Should we get to our World Series predictions?
I'm ready.
Oh, my God. You know what? I have to go change hats for this. So go ahead. You start talking.
Okay. I do want people to know this is not a Dodgers hat. This is a St. Paul Saints hat. But I am. Do you want me to wait for you? He does want me to wait for him. I'm going to pick the Dodgers. I think this is the year where like they're just going to overwhelm the league. I think they are the best team, and I think it's just I get it. It's baseball, 7-game series, 5-game series, all that talk. But I think this Dodgers team is just I think they're so much better than other teams. There's so much more depth. The roster is so much more deep. I'm going to take the LA Dodgers in 5 games. I think it's going to run through this thing. 5 games against the Boston Red Sox.
So it's a rematch of 2018.
Yes.
With the exact
different yeah.
With the Dodgers winning in 5, which I think Boston did.
Yes.
Okay.
No Steve Pearce for the Red Sox this time.
Well played. Okay, it is time to unveil my World Series champion for 2025. It's none other than these guys.
Wow. I love it.
The Philadelphia Phillies. Congratulations for just the 3rd time ever. Right? 3rd time ever? 4th
that
time.
Seems crazy.
4th, I think. 4th? Was 1980 their first? I think maybe that's it. There you go. Anyway, I've got them beating the Detroit Tigers, and I can't tell you why. Plouffe doesn't even have the Tigers making the playoffs. I think I'm buying in. I like that rotation. I think Jackson Jobe is going to shove out of the gate and give them 3 really good starters, and I don't think that Reese Olson is far behind. I think their bullpen is outstanding. I don't love their lineup, but I think they're going to make a big trade this year that will bolster it. That's going to give Riley Green a running mate there in Detroit. But most importantly, Bryce Harper finally can push that off to the side. And when are you going to win your ring? We saw him in the World Series in 2022. We will see him where they have it. Broad Street in Philly. That's where they have all the parades.
I don't know.
Book it.
I would love for that to happen. I want Bryce Harper to get a championship in Philly. I've called for it the last 2 years. I've picked them to win the World Series. I just think the Dodgers are a menace, man. I do. And I hate like that I'm picking them. I would love to have a prediction like yours, but I just think that it's not. I think they're that good. I think they will be the first team to repeat since the Yankees. I think that they're just that good.
They're an animal. They're an animal. Okay, so that'll do it. Let us know what you think of our predictions, but also we want to hear yours, or at least see them. Put them in the comments section. While you're here, hit the thumbs up. If you don't already subscribe, please do. 5 days a week. We love bringing you these shows. And guess what? Opening day is Thursday. Now, we've never done this before, I don't believe. We are going to preview all 14 games, but it's not going to be an hour-and-a-half show. It will still be sub 40 minutes. It's going to be brisk. So we're getting through all those games. Some of them will deserve a little bit more attention. Others will, whatever. Oh, we've done that every year is what producer Dan is telling me. So for the 4th annual opening day preview show, make sure you join us on Thursday.
We've come a long way on this show.
We have come a long way. Thanks to everybody out there.
Instagram Live.
Oh, yeah. I miss those days. We get people wondering if we are going to do the show live again.
We sold out. Sellouts.
We're not sellouts.
We're not?
I don't think so.
Okay. I don't feel like one.
No, I don't either. But I feel terrible about all of my playoff predictions. Once again, leave yours so we can rip on you too. Come on, join the party. It's fun. For our one-of-a-kind producer, Dan Rourke, our awesome intern, Sawyer, that is the uber-talented Trevor Plouffe. I am Chris Rose. We will see you Thursday, opening day. Bye.